Right, so welcome to our community session once again. I'll just do a short presentation here, and please, if at any point you want to come in and add something at any of the slides that I have, that's fine. Or if not, I'll come to it almost at the tail end then. All right, so let me get my bar ready. Let's see when I share my screen. I can't get, yeah, okay. I should bring this here. Okay. Just give thumbs up or give a confirmation once my screen shows up so that I know that we are able to see. Thank you, Ben, and Stephanie Kinui as well. So thanks all. Right, so we're talking about stepping into the cloud, breaking barriers, and of course, building skills. And we've just heard where everyone is, we've seen how many people from different backgrounds, of course, into our community. But why this, right? One thing I want to say is when you are stepping into the cloud, you are definitely stepping from a different background. You are definitely stepping out from your comfort zone. You are coming from a position where you used to be comfortable, and you are trying to embrace new things as well as to learn. This is cannot just be smooth and easy, because if it was, then it will even be boring. It has to be challenging. You will need to have your brain, as I always say, start developing new ways of thinking, firing in different directions. And as you continuously train your brain to do so, then it starts getting, you start getting used to it. It starts getting comfortable. Cloud computing can be intimidating at times, but the only thing I can always say is it's not impossible. So if it's intimidating and it's not impossible, then you shouldn't be afraid. One thing is, with the right guidance and a structured approach, this shouldn't be complicated, because one mistake most people do is trying to learn this on their own, right? It can be very, very, um, yeah, very, very difficult. So I will say the main motivation here, mastering the cloud, is a journey. Don't fear the discomfort of learning. Once you are having that discomfort, it's just a sign that you are growing. You have to have that. So I'll just touch on some key points. And as I say, as I go to the slides, I'll always stop at one point. And if anyone wants to chip in something or share their experience, that's fine. Or if you want to come right at the tail end, that's also fine. So I've just made an intro. Embrace a growth mindset, right? So embrace a growth mindset. Break big goals into small steps. When you have things that are more of like, when you have a big goal and you break that to small steps, that's better. You must have a learning plan, irrespective of the fact that we have a learning plan that we share with all of you or how it goes. You must have then one that also fits with you, because we are all different. But you should, that your small plan should fit in the bigger plan that we have. Curiosity and self-study in the cloud is very important. I'll come to that. Collaboration and peer learning will make things much more easier for you, right? So embracing, let's start with the first one, embracing a growth and a growth mindset. So the key thing here you have to notice is intelligence and skills can be developed over time. They always say at times some people are born intelligent, but I think any hardworking person can always reach a particular goal if you put the commitment, the time, and have the right guidance. If that is intelligence, you can achieve it. This comes over time. Don't expect to do 1 week and then you are already ready. Don't expect to do, IT is not something that you can sit 1 month and 2 months and master everything and then start using it. It's much more better as you gain more experience. You are going to make mistakes, but this should be natural, especially when learning new skills. And failure is going to be part of that learning process. You are going to fail, and but you have to recognize that it's just part of the learning process, right? So those are some of the things when you're thinking about embracing a growth mindset. Why I'm saying so, I know I've noticed some people when they start the courses after 2, 3 weeks, they start thinking this is getting too difficult. The commands are so much. I'm not going to be able to make it, and then they feel like, nah, maybe I have to just quit. That's always when you are making a mistake, because if you don't realize that this skill is going to come over time, you can easily drop on the way. Um, the next point is talking about breaking goals, breaking big goals into small steps. Most of you have received the WirfonCloud journey. We have it in level 1 and level 2. Level 1 has 5 main steps, which is the Linux, the networking, the Python programming, and then of course the practitioner and the architecting course. So that's level 1. We have had that into small steps. So we first do the Linux, just that you get used to the operating system of the cloud. And then it's followed by the networking, which is so essential, programming, and you have to have those skills. Then you learn fundamentals of cloud and then the pillars of the cloud in much more detail. When you finish with these first 5 main steps, you have now the big level, level 2, which is the consulting, where you get into projects, where you also get more courses, mainly from AWS, since WirfonCloud is a registered partner with AWS. We also do one-on-one sessions with those who have finished the solutions architect to try to understand where they want to get into, and then kind of set a 1 year kind of calendar for them, right? So you know very well what you are going to be doing, and then we are meeting always to discuss how you are progressing. We started the consulting group last year, and the very first group will be rounding that first year of this November. So some of the members of that group are
Okay,
here. Maybe
so
they'll chip something in. Yeah.
hello, can we
Uh,
continue now?
who is speaking? Someone is talking. I think that was not for us. Okay. If yes, just come in later. Um, so taking one step at a time and knowing that the sum of all the steps will bring you to the goal, that's to the goal. So if you're thinking of running the Olympic race, you want to bring the golden medal home or the gold medal home, you have to understand that it's a step at a time. You can't just look at the entire race and want to run it in one step. You must take one step at a time. And once you keep that focus and always move one step, you could make it. Celebrate small wins as you build your confidence. So this could be in taking exams. We'll come to that shortly. Yeah. So that's the very first two things that you have to think about. Embrace growth mindset, break big goals into small steps, and I'll talk about the learning plan and hold on for anyone to come in if you want to. So the other thing is I mentioned about the learning plan. We have a structured steps for everyone, but then you also have to develop a structured plan that works for you. And you have to have clear objectives so that you ensure that you are achieving something at least a day. Don't wait. I always say 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, if you can, of the class of whatever course you are studying in a day makes a difference. All right. So don't underestimate the power of short time slots to study. And if you pick a particular time that is regular, the body is it's a very powerful kind of, shall I call it, vehicle. Once it becomes used to a particular habit, it kind of always orientates you to it. And the thing I can say is you cannot start the cloud journey and you remain the same, because we are all coming from busy schedules. I'm sure that there are some priorities you have to give away so that the cloud will fit, right? Like most of you are coming here on a Saturday session. You could have been doing something else. Those are the sacrifices you have to make, right? If you used to hang out more, you have to figure out if you will use that time for the cloud. For the time, because you need that. So that's what you have to do. You cannot just be the same person always and expect that you just do a little bit and succeed, right? So you have to ensure that you put those sacrifices. For those doing classes where we have exercises, you have to learn to complete that during your learning plan, as well as practice what you are learning. Yeah. So those are some of the first three things I wanted to bring, and I don't know if there is anyone from their experience who would like to highlight something I've mentioned to re-emphasize it, or maybe share something new as well that could be benefit for all of us. You can just come in if you do have something, yeah.
Yeah, if I may, I'd just like to emphasize that my experience with WirfonCloud as being somebody who has gone through the program is that there's a lot of emphasis as well on getting at least practical skills because I think there's a very good reason for that, is that the more practice you do, then it helps you in actually embedding the information that you get from learning, be it by like having classes or through personal study. So by actually doing the thing in itself, it just helps to open certain things, demystify it, and at least makes the knowledge a little bit more tangible, where you can actually see something being done. Say if you create a server, and then you set up that server within a VPC, or you try and set up an application within, say, a container of that like, and then you have to provide access to it, so that another server can access it, or you can use what is called you can connect to it using a, a virtual private network of that nature. So when you start doing some of these exercises, and we've got some dedicated sessions where you do these things, those help a very, very big deal. So it can really help as well. So by doing the thing as well, you are subconsciously you are learning. So that will be something which I would say that is very good in helping you master the cloud. I think that is the only way, really, when you come to think of it, that you can master the cloud, by doing some of those hands-on sessions and doing some of those projects. And it will all help as well when you're doing up your CV, because at least you've already done some of these things and you can say that you've done them.
Absolutely. I think I fully agree with Akol. The hands-on, as we say, is very, very crucial. We have WirfonCloud labs. For those who are just starting, we have not yet been running labs, but in our sessions, we do a lot of hands-on, which could be good for now. So, but as you progress, you'll notice that the labs will be singing about doing the labs, because as Akko is saying, remember, when you are getting employed, you are employed for what you can do, right? The certifications and the knowledge will attract you to recruiters, but what you can do is going to help you land a job. Yeah. Thanks for that addition, Akko. Any other person who wants to comment on the first three things we have just talked about? So there was emphasis on exercises, right? Completing exercises, and this could be labs. Okay, if there is none for now, no worries. I'll just move on. We'll come to the end. Curiosity and self-study, right? You have to remain curious and use all the other tools to explore beyond what we offer. Practice, and read blogs. That is one thing. And where AWS is today, one of their leadership principles has to do with being curious, right? We are going to lay the good foundation. We are going to give the best that we can, but cloud is a very changing field. And the other thing is you have to be curious. Managers like people who are curious, who are willing to look into things that are new, right? You cannot just sit with what we have. And when you are curious, the other thing is it gives you so much confidence when you learn other things that maybe others don't know, or when they're sitting in the meeting and they're asking about who knows a particular tool, and then you are at least one of those who have touched on it or practiced, right? So you have to be curious in doing the exercises. For those who are doing the Linux, in terms of labs, remember we have created users, we have created folders. You can sit and create those structures and see how they work. We did install the web server last Friday. You have to install that by your own and see that it's actually working, right? Try to break it like we did, stopping the process and bringing it back. Once you can do that and see that it's working, it makes you know that at least you know what's happening. So those are some of the things that when practicing are important. Collaboration and peer learning. The most easy way in the cloud is to be in a group, like WirfonCloud community. And in the group, for every cohort, we always have Mondays for Students Hour, just like you have in the Linux course. And I'll be very happy to hear from those who are participating in the Students Hour, maybe in the past or now, how this has helped them maybe understand certain things better, right? We did create this without the instructor coming in to help people who are completely new to see how they can start discussing with one another to solve a problem. Because with IT, when you are working, you're always going to work in a team. So the idea of the Students Hour is to help you start learning how to collaborate and how to work with people that you have just met from the first time, right? And in doing so, we create a supportive community. We let everyone know that there is no stupid question here in WirfonCloud. And the key thing is we try as much as possible to see that, anyone who needs help is supported. The problem of the other thing is overcome the fear of not knowing. There are some people when they start as well, they have this problem of I don't know, and you definitely will not know because cloud computing is technical, it's complex, and I mentioned it's not impossible to master. So not knowing is part of the learning process because if you could just get it immediately, it would just be too simple, and then everyone would definitely be in it, and then it would not have the market value that it has. So don't let the fear of not knowing. Don't try to be so perfect before you continue. There are some people who move very far in the cloud when they have not yet mastered Linux to a certain point. Some of you, when we started with WirfonCloud, we were not offering Linux and networking and Python as a course. We just went straight to cloud, and it was always very challenging because people were meeting all the topics all on the cloud topic, all on the cloud courses. Then we realized how much the fundamentals were important, and we created these separate courses to help that step-by-step movement so that it's not too crowded. But even with that, some of you still realize that Linux, there are things you don't know. Today you remember, tomorrow you are wondering if you know. You should just have the mindset that it's okay. You focus on your main goal. Because when those things start making sense after 3 months, 4 months down the road, you'll be having a so-called aha moment. Now I know why I was doing the things I was doing before. Yeah. So overcome the fear of not knowing. Collaborate and peer learning, curiosity, and self-study. Anyone wants to come in on these 3 slides or anything you want to add here, especially on the collaboration? Maybe someone has something they have experienced. Yeah.
Uncle Ban, let me come in here and say something
Yes,
a little bit about
sure.
collaboration, peer learning. I would just want to emphasize on this point and how important it is. So when I joined WirfonCloud, I was part of the community and I had to attend sessions with several people besides the normal sessions that we have. So I identified people that I could later on talk to, collaborate with, have one-on-one sessions with to solve the problems that I encountered while I was studying alone or so. And this skill, I will call it a skill, I still use it while I work. because even while you work, even though you are in a team, you are in a team and need to collaborate with everyone. But you might need to find some particular person that you want to work one-on-one with on some specific things that you're facing personally. And this helps you grow, or helps you hold the hand of the other person grow with you, if it's the other way. So it's just emphasizing that it's important to collaborate. You don't need to know someone. You don't need to have seen someone or know where they are coming from. You just need to identify that I think I can work with this person on this particular subject. This person can either help me or I can help them, or we can together. I think I am skilled in this area. This person is skilled in this area. If we bring these two skills together, it would help us to be able to solve a particular problem. And like that, you grow. Sometimes if you're asleep in a particular particular area, the person will wake you up or will come back. This is the project that we had planned to do, or we are trying to do. What about it? What should we do about it? And like that, you can find maybe 30 minutes to solve a problem. And when you're collaborating on it, you grasp things easily, and it helps you learn easily, I would say. So it's difficult to do it on your own, but collaboration is important, both the group studies and finding someone that you can work one-on-one with. It's important. Yeah, I just thought I should come in on this.
No, thank you very much for that experience, and especially how that is working for you also at work. Thank you very much. Can you anyone wants to also share, especially from the new cohort, how the Monday sessions, if they have made any difference for you? Or in general? I think I may ask Ben or Tatiana, Tatiana, because I know you prefer attend the Monday sessions. I know it's a bigger community, don't be shy to speak. So say something.
Yes, if I may, the Monday session, they tend to be really helpful. However, the challenge that we are facing now is that we don't really have a structure per se. You know, we don't really know what we want to do. I don't know if we should we should try and be more, a little bit more organized. The last one, however, that we had, I think it was Cynthia, somewhat, either Cynthia or other, I can't remember. They were struggling on a particular thing or two that we tried. We went through them together and we solved them. Me myself, I learned a lot while trying to help as well, which is a positive side of working together. But you know, we later noticed that we were not really structured per se. We didn't know what to do. And we ended up separating after half an hour. We decided to, you know, so yes, I think there's something that we need to, you know, do a little bit more to kind of structure the Monday session. Yeah. But that was my own remark.
Okay. No, thanks for that feedback. I'll comment on that. Maybe Tatiana, you want to come in before I say something? If you are in a position to talk, yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Right. We are talking about if the Monday sessions are helping in studies. That's where we are. And I was asking if you wanted to comment.
Yes, we've had the student hour at
Oh, unfortunately, I think your connection won't let you speak.
and like Ben said, I think yeah, just the structure. But I feel
Oh, sorry. Okay, I think we're having Tatiana cannot. Oh, sorry, unfortunately. No worries. I think we'll come back to that. But any other person from yeah, quite understanding Tatiana. No connection is bad. Don't worry, we'll come back to that. But One thing I want to say regarding the Monday session, it's true, it's not structured, but there's a reason we did for that. It was like just getting there. If you have difficulties, you discuss and see how you can solve them. Because, but from what you are saying, I think the way you can structure is when we're having classes, those who attend, they can start having discussion on what can we have on Monday, right? So we have the Telegram group, because the key here is I really want it to be done by the students for the students, right? Not if we start giving structure, then you are not able to kind of dig in yourself, right? Definitely you are facing challenges in some of the commands we have discussed. Linux is new to you. So even in the Linux Telegram group, you can start exchanging on what should we discuss on Monday, for example, right? And if someone from the group takes that leadership to also structure how it should come, that's fine. But I really want that to happen from the student's perspective, because it will help you grow. But we can try that again. And if there is still difficulty, we'll come back to it. Is there anyone from the higher previous cohorts, maybe who is doing any of our group studies? Some of you have done the sysops group study, some of you have done doing the Kubernetes. If you want to just comment, someone else differently, if you want to comment, you can just share your thoughts on how group study peer learning has been of help to you in your journey for others to benefit from. So if not, we can come back to that by the end of the session. All right, so let's talk about the next one, hands-on experience. And interestingly, Apple highlighted that experience is what matters most. You are employed for what you can do. Take lab sessions seriously, as well as invest time to explore on other labs. I think interestingly, this already came up and we talked about that, right? You'll be employed for what you can do. You have to stay up to date. Cloud technology keeps evolving, and you should be someone who is eager to review trends in cloud computing, get involved in discussions on forecasts of where the cloud is going to be moving. There was a time a lot was said about containers. Kubernetes was like, if you didn't have knowledge on Kubernetes, you won't really get into the cloud. Kubernetes is still important. Understanding cloud containers is still important. But then things like infrastructure and as code came in when Terraform was like a very, very hot topic. It's still important. Then it shifted to data, right? Data became a very big topic. It's still important, but we're using data. AI is now something that everyone is talking about. I even forgot about serverless, because when serverless came in, it was also, you're going to be able to launch, set up architectures, and you don't need to be managing servers. It was a very big shift, right? And then now AI is one of those things that is also currently being talked about, and lots of trainings around that area. So one thing you have to notice is you have to always, in the next 5 years, AI will still be important, but maybe something else will come in. But AI now is really going to hold the market, I think, for a very long time. So if you don't review these trends, get involved in discussions, you will always be lost on what is happening. There are lots of online conferences on this topic. We always share some of these on our premium group. All of you that is here, at least you should be in the premium group if you are registered in one of our courses. If you can attend them online, that's fine, or attend in person. We always attend most of the AWS summits in different cities here in Europe. Join some open source projects, GitHub, or any other thing, so that you see also what some of these projects are all about. So staying up to date is something you have to be part of. And as I say, if you have to do all these things, certain things you are doing before, they'll have to give way, right? You have to achieve something. You can't be the same. Certifications is a must for many of you. The more certifications, the better. One thing I can say for sure is I always say, if you get a certification, it does not necessarily mean that you are immediately specialized in that area. But the other side of it is that you already know more than what you knew before, because these certifications require commitment, they require time, and there's no way you can put that amount of time without learning something, right? Because when you are studying with the mindset that you do a certification, the approach and the intensity you put to it is different, right? But if you just study that, okay, yeah, you want to know something, I'm sure you still know something, but the certifications, especially for those of you without a background, it is the only evidence to show that you have gained that skill. It's the only way recruiters will measure if you even have those skills. There are some people who are working in even AWS and they are not certified because they maybe have just 1 or 2 certifications, but they have enough experience. They have been in so many projects that if they present that replace the need for any certifications. But if you are switching or you are completing, your certifications become then the only thing you can prove to recruiters that you have the skill and also that you are willing to learn, right? So this is something I really want to emphasize, that once there's an opportunity to do a certification, for most of you, go ahead and do that, right? Because that's going to position you better. And as I always say, the foundational certification at WirfonCloud that I always say we take anyone to be very committed and serious in the cloud is the Solutions Architect Associate certification. Not that finishing that certification will make you an architect already, but it is like the certification that really confirms that you've built a solid foundation on the key pillars of the cloud. And here I always think of storage, networking, security, how you manage users here, IAM users, right? So, and to a certain extent, how data and databases are managed in the cloud. So once you have that as the foundation, any other thing you would do, be it AI, you need this, machine learning, you need this certification. If you are branching to do DevOps or what, you always need some of the knowledge that you've achieved from this, right? So think of doing certifications and don't shy away from them. Don't be afraid to fail, even if it happens, you know. Others have failed and then they have passed it. The key thing is the race is not going to be the same for everyone. But the most important thing is if you cross the finish line, you have made it. So, and that's key, right? Because it's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up when you do fall down. That's more important. Now, when you get hands-on experience and you've got certified, then your thinking will also have to gradually change. You have to start thinking about focusing your mindset on problem solving. So learning, some of you may be able to figure out this when you are doing the labs or when you are doing the projects, right? Because your direction is to have a job. And when companies employ you, they are employing to help solve a problem they have. If there's a team, the team will always have a problem they are working on. So once you get the knowledge and you take that knowledge and manage it in, let's say, hands-on projects or get hands-on experience, then you have to start thinking of how can I use all of this that I'm learning to solve a company's problem? That is the way you can sell yourself, right? So if you go to an interview, rather than just saying, I've got this certification, you are talking about what you can do to maybe after you read the job requirements or you read what is supposed to be done and you understand that, you sit in an interview, you are talking about how you are coming in will help the company maybe solve the problem they are encountering, or how you help them kind of work in a much more efficient way, the kind of things you can bring in from that you have, rather than just saying, yeah, I've got an AWS certification, that means I'm ready to work. But you are coming from, I'm a problem-solving individual in regards to the cloud. So those are the things that you can look in. And so for most of you, the journey looks like this. In WirfonCloud, there is a start position. You have the IT fundamentals for the cloud, which you are all doing. After that, AWS. So most of you are here on the IT fundamentals. That's the New York people. Then after that, we'll do AWS cloud platform, and we'll encourage you to get certified in the necessary certifications. Once you finish this is like level 1, right? Once you finish level 1, you get into level 2, which goes into WirfonCloud projects. We could then maybe, depending on the path you are picking, cloud automation tools, container and orchestration, and then CV and interview preparations till you have the job. For some of you, depending on how fast you are, there are people who, after getting certified, they start looking for jobs. And if you have, and they are able to have their jobs. But if you don't get a job, you go to level 2, which is WirfonCloud consulting, and there you are then having more of this that we are doing. Even those who are who have jobs already, they are still in WirfonCloud consulting, and what they are doing is building more skills as well as sharing with other people as well. So that's the emphasis, or that's the kind of like roadmap that you can think of once being in our community. So that's just what I wanted to share. I don't know if there are other points. I've just covered some other slides here. The 7 we already had. So staying up to date, get certified, and focus on problem solving. I think those are the ones that if anyone has something to come into before we round up here, and then maybe have general discussions, that's fine. Any other thing someone would like to add, just like we did in the first ones? Maybe from your experience, or yeah, so if not, that will have been kind of end to that presentation, and general discussions now on yeah, just on this. So maybe if you have anything still on inspiring and motivating one another, we can go ahead and talk about that. Or if you have comments, that would be great. And don't be shy, just speak up. And while waiting, I noticed Magdalene joined us later on as we were going. Good evening, Magdalene. Welcome. And Milik as well. Good evening.
Sorry for me, you did mention about WirfonCloud consulting, but on
Yes.
the board that you were showing WirfonCloud projects, is it the same thing?
WirfonCloud projects is one of the things we do under WirfonCloud consulting.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
right. Now, since you have brought that, let me show you where that comes in. Because we have level 1 of what we have in WirfonCloud. Then we have level 2, which is talking about which is talking about let me share my screen again. Which is talking about, so level 1 is much more focused on building the knowledge, right? From the very beginning. Most people are just new, so I think you can see this. So this is level 1. Level 1 is talking about Linux fundamentals, networking fundamentals, Python essentials, AWS essentials, and the architecting course. So these are the first 5 courses, right? That we carry. So this is what we call level 1. Okay. Now,
Right.
level 2 is then this other one, which is WirfonCloud Consulting, which has WirfonCloud projects as one of the projects here. Here we bring like 5 people in a group, and then they kind of work on a particular project. And when you finish this project, we always, because when you are working in WirfonCloud Consulting, you get an email with the WirfonCloud, and then we consider you as a consultant at WirfonCloud. Then when you finish this kind of project, it runs about 3 months. You are able to have an entry that you can put on your CV for that project. So you have WirfonCloud projects. You have more baseline courses that could be of great relevance to your journey. But these ones are offered by AWS authorized instructors. So we kind of like when we do one-on-one sessions with every student, we try to figure out what they are interested in, and then we point these sessions that you can attend live, or you can have them. Some of them are recorded and available on demand. You watch them when you can. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Then we do career specialization and personalized career plans when we are doing the one-on-one, and then the job interviews also at the bottom. So this is like really getting you ready to get into having a job. So that's level 2. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Mhm.
There's a possibility of a career change then.
Career change. Yes, yes. For us, you are doing, definitely it is. Yeah, there is.
Okay, that's really
Yeah.
exciting. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, all right. Yeah, so any other question or comment on that? If someone have, you notice the more questions comes, the more I'm able to figure out what to share. I know that some of you might have had that when I did bring that up, but yeah, apart from that, I did welcome Magdalena. I was welcoming Munich as well as Mike. Mike, good afternoon to you. Nice to have you in the session. As well as great, good afternoon. As well as Tio join us. Good evening, Tio. Welcome.
Good evening, Prof. I'm sorry, I'm driving home, so it's a little maybe noisy. But yeah, good evening, everyone. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be with you guys today again.
Great. Thank you, Tio. Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, so Tio is also an instructor here and also in charge of labs for Friday sessions. Friday labs are the most advanced labs. So you'll be meeting Tio also in the courses, right? But as you hear, he's driving, so definitely cannot take much now. So drive safe home, Tio, and see you. Talk to you later. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from that, I don't know. I want to hear from the new cohort members. What has been your experience, or if there are some challenges that you need to hear from those who have been here before. I think that could be important. So Minik, Stephanie, Pascal, again, like Ben, Benio, and I think that's Telma Ondong. Feel free to, and don't be shy to share in or chip in something. Go ahead, Minik, your hand is up. So you are the first person. Go ahead.
Once more, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I just wish to know, like, how is it that they do? How is the entire thing about like Linux, about AWS after the certifications for those of you who are already certified and who are already in the job and everything? Is it that time consuming? Is it possible to also have something else doing at the same time while doing the job itself, or is it for the most part somehow like an entire thing that you just focus on, like software, like IT, or is it possible to also have something on the side while doing this one as well? So that is something that it has really been bothering me, because I just want to know how much I am concentrating in, how much time I am putting in, how much effort. Like, I have not yet really had like a sort of solid plan, because I remember discussing with you, sir, before we started. I have no IT background, absolutely no IT background. And this is my first time doing anything concerning IT. So if I could just get some little clarification on those who are already in the field, how it is going, it will really motivate me.
Mhm. So maybe just that we capture your question where you are asking if you are doing the courses. Is it when you are doing the courses or when you are already working, if you have the possibility to do something by the side? Is it like working also? Do you want to bring more clarification before others
Yes,
answer?
exactly. So that is what I am talking about. Like, after the certification, is it possible to do something by the side, like something, another business or another job
Mhm.
while doing this
Okay.
one?
Right. Good question. Is there someone who wants to come in? The demands of the job, do they provide you the option to also do something by the side? Who wants to answer that before I come in? Yeah, on it.
Kuba, maybe let me throw some light on what Monique is asking.
Yes.
First of all, I'll start with what do you see yourself doing after you're done with the certification, Monique? Do you already have this plan of the kind of roles you'd want to occupy in the IT industry? That's the first question. So maybe if you answer this, or if you need a clarification to this, maybe you need a deeper conversation to have an answer to this, and then we'll now know. But generally, cloud computing jobs here in Europe, and when you're looking for a permanent role, are usually a 9 to 5 kind of thing. So 9 to 5. But if you want to work as how do we call them? Um
Cloud engineer or
no.
support.
Those who are not permanent, those who are consultants, right? Yes. If you want to work like a consultant, and this will not be something I would advise someone who is new into cloud computing to start with. If you're consulting for a company, then you're an expert, right? And you're offering your services to them maybe on a temporary basis, or maybe on a schedule that you agree with them. And so it will not be a full-time thing, depending on what your contract says. But generally, IT roles are a 9 to 5 thing. So it's a full-time job. It's not something I would think you can do and do a part-time job again. You can, but 9 to 5, your services will be needed at your workplace, except you want to do a night shift for some other role. Yeah, but even if you're doing support roles on Kuban, I still think most support roles, even if you're working from home for a support role, is usual. I don't know for other countries, but in the UK, it's a 9 to 5 thing. I don't know if Apple agrees with this perspective. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for that insight, Tatiana. Yeah, I don't know, Akko, you want to add something? Maybe if
Well, I think we've kind of more or less really summed it up. I think it's been a really great session. And it's once again, it's great to welcome so many of you who have come through. I think we've covered quite a lot here with those really key points and you're seeing, kind of seeing the pathway to getting yourself fully up to speed with the cloud, and then using the cloud. So no matter what work of life you find yourself, you'll find some way to really make use of the cloud in this time. So yeah, so make use of sessions such as this on Saturday will become very important. It helps us to really reconnect with the community, get to know each other, and so that that will also make the journey place even much more pleasurable. You've heard a lot of other people who have been here that are also active participants as well. So even if you miss a day, listen to the recordings. I think they'll be very helpful. I think a problem shared is a problem, is a problem halved, or it's because you always have find somebody with a very unique answer and a very great way that can explain things you don't know. So yeah, just a source of encouragement and to say, yeah, you're in the right place.
No, thanks, Akwa. And I'll just add, I don't know, for Minik, I also add again that, and for every other person, as Tatiana said, when you are starting, remember when you are starting something, the concentration and the focus is very high. If I think before even the cloud, when I started my first IT job, I had to be studying hard. I remember, yeah, the work was 9 to 5, but when it was 5 o'clock, I was really rushing home to go take a rest, get up, and then study. It was very demanding. It was a small company, and they always try to just squeeze whatever thing they can from you. But that really helped me because it pushed me to do things that I was not able to do. So in the beginning, it's very possible that you have to do a lot. But as time goes on, and after you have become experienced, you get that level of being, you become relaxed at work. You at times sit and wonder, right, you would love to do something else, or maybe do something alone. Let me share with you my experience. I was working when I started as a Linux administrator, doing incident management. At the beginning, it was just so much fun. But by the third year, I was really getting bored because I've got used to it. What was supposed to be done, the tasks were just repeating themselves. And then I got the role to work as assigned client engineer, which now was focused on some particular clients to help in the high availability and optimizing their environment. That was also very fun. I was really enjoying it. But then as time was going on, I was really thinking, what will I be doing after this? You get so used to it, you are like, yeah, every day starts sounding like the same day. And working in this role, I started having more time because in the earlier role, I had to be more alert. I had to do more, but the assigned engineering role was more of working with the client or with a specific one or two clients. And when you were able to figure out what we had to do, let's say for a week, and once that was done, if there was nothing that I should really be bothered on, if the systems are high and running well, the monitorings are going well, there is nothing maybe that needs to be implemented, I was just free, right? So the higher you go, the more experience you have, the more time you start getting free. And while in this role, I had the feeling something was changing. And I always say that it took me a while to discover the cloud because initially when I started, I used to attend conferences when I was working, and I'm still pointing this where we did talk about conferences. When you are working, really attend conference, be part of exhibitions. So I used to attend conferences, and I went for like 6, 7 years. I was not in any conference. And that was the time AWS actually started growing and was getting popular. So I missed on that because if I was doing, I would have really seen that shift earlier, and I'm sure I would have been earlier in the cloud. So but I just felt like I need to change my role when I was in the assigned client engineering role. Then I was just going around and I saw This was first around 2016. I saw the AWS course in Udemy. I bought it. I never even looked at it. I just knew people were talking about AWS. I bought it. Then 2 years went by. Again, then 2018, I learned Google Cloud was coming in. Then I was like checking, what is this all about? I created a virtual machine and I was really, really impressed. Like, wow, this is just so easy. And that's where I got into let me learn the cloud. Why am I saying this? Because at that time, I didn't have I was in a role where I could have some days that I'm free. And I was also working in a company where 10 hours per month were dedicated to training. You could really input that you spend 10 hours training. That's paid for, right? So companies create those hours. So I was having free time. I had these 10 hours. So doing something by the side now, I started learning cloud on my own, right? I started learning Google Cloud. Later on, got to AWS, and then that's how WirfonCloud kind of started, which was initially Cloud Careers. I came across Dr. Shian based in the UK. He was also learning Google Cloud. We started a community called Cloud Careers. And then when I had the opportunity to bring AWS Challenge, which was then like the first cohort for AWS, then I move ahead and we are more of call this WirfonCloud. Dr. Shian then started tech equity as well. So that is kind of like if the higher you go and the more time you start having, and then that's how you get into doing something. But for the beginning, you will definitely want to learn more because it's a new space, right? So, and as Tatiana already mentioned, when you are starting, you cannot move to the consulting role immediately as a consultant, so to say. We call it here WirfonCloud consulting, but when you come to think of it out there, the role of a consultant, at times they are like contractors. They just come for when they are just needed for some particular cases, and also they don't want to work full time. They want to define how they want to work. They come execute that and they go. Yeah. Minik, I don't know if that did help answer your question as well.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Apo. Thank you, sir. It really shed a little bit of it shed more light on it on the entire subject. So I feel a little more motivated to learn. I know that I'm putting in my best right now to learn very hard. It's not as complicated as I had imagined before joining. So I'm just glad to be studying here with my other peers, and I hope that we can go a long way. I thank you for all the sessions that you're having, sir, and I thank you for the patience that you're having in us, because I know that sometimes you really take time to explain all these things, and it's just like throwing water on a duck's back. But we are trying our best, I can say, for to do all the revisions and everything, even though I've missed some of the Monday sessions, but I believe that I can put in more effort so that maybe I can also arrive at the consultant role and maybe more and everything. So thank you once more.
No, you're welcome. That's what we want to see happen. We want to help you break barriers, right? Yeah, so glad you're enjoying it, and you're not seeing that it's complex as it was, as you thought. So Benu, how are you feeling? I think this is your first Saturday session. Is this helping you see some structure to move from your current role as a veterinary surgeon?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you. I started very late when you guys were like 2 or 3 weeks gone. I think, yeah, something like that. So, and I've been watching the videos. I was able to download Putty and follow some of the screenshots, and from there, I think everything is coming. Just that I need to put in more effort and continue until where you guys are right now. I cannot say I'm with you, but I'm following. And it's hard. As we all, most of us are new in IT, new in computer business, but definitely I will be there. And
Mm-hmm.
I myself, like Ben said, that is he will be going for retirement soon. He's trying to look into something. I am also having the same thought, like a career change. You never know where it will land. And from the look of things, it looks like cloud is like holds a lot of deal in the future. And I really appreciate how patient you've been with us, the patience you use to explain stuff. And if you watch the video, you really see how you go detail in explaining everything. And sometimes I just watch the video and I follow and understand most of the things and try to practice them myself. And thank you.
Right. No, thanks for that feedback regarding our Linux sessions. Yeah. Yeah, great. At least let's maybe hear Stephanie. Afternoon again. You want to come in regards to the discussion? Do you have any questions or worry in regards to your journey that some of the members here who have been here can answer?
Just everyone, no questions so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's
No
fine.
questions. We're just struggling to catch up.
Yeah.
It's a bit tough, but yeah, it gets better.
All right. It's a bit tough, but you are keeping up. That's fine then. Good.
We're trying to keep up. We're not keeping up. We're trying to
Yeah.
keep up.
Yeah. Right. I think what is coming up, like you hear from Benio and hear from Stephanie, they are trying to keep up. And the material, another student was pointing to me is there are just so many commands that they are learning, and it looks overwhelming. I don't know if anyone would like to comment on if you have someone who is just starting and you have all these commands, how did you and I think maybe Tatiana will bring you in here since you also came from a non-IT background. You have been able to study here, you have been able to have a job. But when you started and you saw Linux and all these things and they were overwhelming, and you also had to be doing other things like you had a baby. So how did you keep up? How did you manage it? You want to share that experience on how to keep up? We are talking on the topic of keeping up with things. Yeah.
Okay. First, what I would say is do not worry. You can keep up definitely and you'll be able to make it through. First, Uncle Ban already mentioned at the beginning of the session that you should break your goals into smaller objectives. What do you want to achieve in a month's time, in 2 months' time, in 6 months or so? If the objective you had for a month, eventually you achieved in 2 months, it is still an achievement, and you should celebrate small successes as he mentioned. But do not let a day pass, do not let 2 days, 3 days go by without you doing something, without you learning something or doing something that helps you to attain that goal. It's not easy, true, it is overwhelming, but do you have a goal? Do you want to? For me, it was easy. I had a goal. Maybe this is a personal attribute, but once I have a goal, I will get there. Nothing stops me. I don't get discouraged for anything. This is something we all should try to be able to have. Do not get discouraged for anything. I mean, if you want to get discouraged after 1 month, it is 1 month worth of sacrifice that you're wasting away. Rather than throwing away that month, put in 1 other month and achieve something. If I want to talk about the Linux commands, I did not worry so much about Linux. It was completely new to me, yes. But could I change a directory to a new directory? Could I create a text or a document? Could I create a folder? Yes. Are these the commands that I needed for a start? Yes. At least I can navigate through those basic ones that I needed for the time. I mastered those and I allow the other ones. I still learn Linux commands now, but the ones I learn now are the ones I need to use that I have never used before. But seeing myself navigate through a Linux system is what I try to learn from the beginning. So do not try to know all the Linux commands now. There are some basic ones that you need for a start. You need to know how to navigate your way through a Linux system. That is enough, I would say. That is enough, but keep those notes because you come back to them. You will need them subsequently when you need to do something more, maybe mount a disk or do something. You'll need them subsequently, but for now, can you navigate your way through a Linux system? Can you create a file? Can you edit that file? Can you save the changes? That's just all you need to know. Do not feel overwhelmed for any reason. These are the things that you need. Look at them like things that you need to do in order to get to that goal, little objectives. And that's why the peer learning is important. Because when you want to get discouraged, someone that you work with would say, but we've not created this file that we needed to create. Let's see how to edit it. And again, the motivation is going to sprout out and you'll start working again. Do not get discouraged for anything. I don't know if I'm saying it enough, but this motivation, this fire needs to keep burning. Even if anything happens and you're down for a month, that goal is still there. Wake up the day after that month, start all over. Do not abandon it completely. You will get there. And it starts as a struggle. At the beginning, you're struggling to understand. Later on, you would enjoy it, and later on, you get bored of it, just like Uncle Ban was saying. So it's a struggle. You later on understand it, you enjoy doing it, and then you're bored. I'm doing the same thing. So don't bother at all. Do not give up for any reason. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you for that perspective. I don't know Stephanie and the rest. I hope that helps. Yeah. Milik, Ben.
Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much. That was really helpful. The fact of focusing on the end goal. What do we really want? What are our objectives? And something, just to add on what you've just said there, something that has helped me for this short period of time. I used to be that person, I was so newsaholic. That is, I have to listen to the French news, I had to listen to the English news. Or when I come on my way to work, I have my headphones, I'm switching from local radio to RFE. When I come back, even my wife, she knows that I have to watch the 7 o'clock news on Channel 4, and then I follow the weather, and then watch the BBC news, and then go to ITV news at 10. But something that has helped me or is helping me, and then, yes, she's just reminding me, I have to follow the French news of France 2, which is normally at 8 p.m. in France. Anyway, I have just learned to switch off from news, and it's in my mind is Linux, is cloud, it's beginning to sink in slowly in my brain. I don't know what's happening with it. Thank goodness, even all the news today is just bad news. I don't follow news at all anymore, and I've realized how that news used to take a lot of my time, occupy my brain. It has created some room for the brain to start thinking Linux, the command, start thinking about killing, creating files, directory, plus, minus. So yes, that's my little testimony. And I believe that if it continues like that, I might get like you for me when I grow up.
I know, Ben. That's a good one.
So
No,
thank you, Tatiana, for that testimony.
right.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Yeah. And Ben, so exciting to hear you say that as well. For you to share that. We always, at times we always say we don't have time, But when we look into our schedule, we can actually see that there is time. So, and as you,
Absolutely.
yes, and as you say, the news of today is not bringing anything good. And at times, even watching the news, you can't change what is happening out there, right?
I know.
So I
Even
know
makes
you
you
just,
at times be depressed, and then you're angry
yes,
on
right,
things that you have no control over. So
control
what's the
over.
point?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
addicted to news, you know.
Oh, that's good. No, thanks. WirfonCloud is taking away that addiction. Who helps so me? Take you away from me.
Amen to that. Long may it last.
No, right, really nice. Thanks, you've shared that for us. And as I was saying earlier on, something will have to give way, right? So that you fit the cloud computing. I used to say that later on you start going to YouTube. When you start AWS, there will be we used to call AWS sessions on YouTube, we call them soap operas. For those who like watching maybe some particular series on TV, rather than watching them, you watch AWS channels, AWS presentations. I really did a lot of that when I started AWS. I will get up in the morning, I'll put it on. If I'm cleaning and I'm doing something, AWS is running in the background. And each time I'll hear something differently. And if I watch the same video continuously, because the presentation was so good, I watch it like, there are some I've watched like 5, 10 times. And after some time, I really know what's happening there. So
When you use my what? I'll just use your name.
so that was
Okay.
really good. I'm going to bring
want
in
to-
Tio. I see Tio has his hand up. And Tio, come in, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Van. Good evening again to you all. Prof. Van, I just wanted to say something about this thing that they always say, IT background, IT background. Like as if some people were born with IT background and all of this. No, it's not different. It's not that much different. And the problem is that the truth is that yes, there's a different learning curve, but it's basically the same challenge. Those who had IT background had to go into IT at some point without IT background. So wherever you were starting, is the challenge is, as Tatiana is saying, do you want to get somewhere? How badly do you want to get there? Is this something that you're just trying out? Is it if it starts to work early, then you continue. If it doesn't work early, then you are like you give it up. I know people who have come to WirfonCloud, they've tried it, they're like okay, and then they leave. I know people who have come, they've tried it. It's been difficult for so long, even so sometimes they haven't gotten a job, but they keep pushing. And we also know people like Tatiana who just got in 9 months, they had their job. It's something that you have to decide whether is it a do or die affair, or is something that you are just, or is it some shoe that you want to try? If it fits you, you buy it. So at the end of the day, just make up your mind. Are you just trying to figure out whether this is good for you or not? Is this, or you want to switch your career, go come rain, come sun? So some of us come to IT with IT background, but my story from my side about how I got into IT is basically saying there were also challenges at the time. I had to read about Microsoft Word from a book. There were not computers available like they're available today. But my interest was at the end of the day, at the end of the year, I should understand what Microsoft Word is. My neighbors had computers. We didn't have a computer. They went to a school where they were teaching computers. I went to a government school where computers was not being taught at the time. I had to read their own textbook to learn what Control V, Control C, Control P is, and all of those things by just reading a book. I really did not even have the time also to practice these things or the opportunity. You go to visit them. They are there on Mavis Beacon showing you typing speed, how they are typing 70 words a minute. And you can only see it. You can only see it. You don't even know what your own potential is. But I had decided that when the opportunity comes, I would be ready. Whenever my family or whoever I know will be able to buy a computer that I can do those practice those things, I would be ready. I would have the knowledge. So it's the same thing here. Are you ready when when a job suddenly pops up around your area? Do you have the knowledge to be able to put it at work and say, I'm the one who is most equipped, most well informed about this area, and so I should and prove to the hiring manager that you are the one who is most ready for such a job. The thing WirfonCloud is offering you is is a guidance through this process, people to support you, people to say you are not alone in this journey. Bring it all together, the people that are also trying to get into cloud technology, who are trying to switch careers, people from different backgrounds. But at the end of the day, you are the one who will decide, I will stick to this journey till the end. Whatever it takes, I want to get a job. I would do whatever it takes to be ready when that opportunity comes. That's all. It's not whether you come with an IT background or not. Your challenge is big. You have to be bigger than your challenge. That's all I want to tell you. Decide for yourself now whether you want to go till I don't know whether the end goal is to get a job or to go or get from cloud engineer, cloud architect, and cloud consultant. You have to decide how far you want to go and decide that whatever it takes, you will keep going. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a goal, as Tatiana also said, then at some point you'll be like, okay, I'm done with this. I move on to something else. But if your goal is that you have to get somewhere, then you don't stop in the middle of the way. So be bigger than whatever challenge is placed before you. I've seen people who have come to cloud without any typing skills, but they are able to manage it day after day. Today, they are able to type maybe one command, two, and then they are tired. The next day, they try again, one or two, and then they are tired. After 1 week, they are like, okay, let's go for a third one. Gradually, but knowing fully well that where they have started is not where they would end. They can be, and it doesn't determine how far they would go. Remember this: where you start doesn't determine how far you will go. There are people who are already cloud engineers today when you are starting to switch to cloud, but there will come a day, it's possible that there will come a day when you will be cloud architect or cloud consultant, and they will still be doing cloud engineer because their own journey had ended, but you started yours and decided this is where I'm going. So please set your goal and be determined about it. Decide that you will stick to it, whether you are alone, whether everybody lives with WirfonCloud. This is where I want to go. I would find people to support me to get there. And if WirfonCloud is going to be that person, I'm glad I'm already with them here, and I will get there, whatever it takes. So thank you. That's all.
Great. That's a very strong one from Tio. I think we all agree. I see Benio say, well said. The emphasis on having a goal. And I want to just chip in to add, Tio said there are some people who come, they easily get tired, they move away. There are some people who come, it's difficult, they stay in, and then maybe after 2-3 years, they get a job. Some people may have it after 1 year. And also said, because you started earlier, it doesn't mean that you are going to be at that position. Someone coming behind can definitely come and go faster. So I think this is just a principle of how do you succeed in life, right? You have to, I like you have to, if your dream is big, you also have to do things big, right? And be ready. So Tio has really captured it well. I hope all of you were able to get it, and I hope you really pick that and stay to it. So if you look at the entire goal we have had, like Martin Luther said, when you are going up the staircase, you don't need to see the entire stairs from the bottom right to the top, right? The goal is somewhere up there. You don't see the entire staircase you are taking, but just as long as you are seeing the first step, the second step, you are just moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you see yourself up. But if you start looking at the entire staircase, trying to see all the steps before you start, you will not start. So defining what you really want to achieve, and you may not know that as we are having this conversation, but it should be something that maybe could start occupying you, because that's going to drive you in your curiosity of what is it really that I'm doing, and how should I put myself so that you achieve it. And then every week, you should be able to tell yourself that, okay, I've made progress by learning 1 or 2 commands today, by using 1 or 2 commands today as well. After 2 weeks, I've improved. After 1 month, okay, I did the Linux course. I've completed it. We'll give everyone who has participated a certificate. You celebrate that. 1 month ago, you didn't know what Linux was. To be able to go through the course and learn all those commands and see how you can even install a web server, install a database, and see how it's working, it's a great achievement, right? You do the same for networking, you do the same for Python, and you just keep seeing yourself making progress. By 1 year, by the time it's 1 year, you really look back and see how far you have gone in that journey. So yeah, but you need to really capture what you want to do. Thanks to Tio and Tatiana again for that emphasis on have a goal. You need to have one. Yeah. We are 15 minutes to the end of the session. Okay, I notice Titus wants to come in. Thank you, Titus. Go ahead.
Yes, Prof. Good evening and greetings to everyone. Can you hear me?
Titus. Definitely 1-on-1, 5-on-5 can hear you.
Thank you. I just come in to maybe to motivate others to say my own story, how it comes about someone who does not have that experience. I was just here laughing and say, I heard Theo saying that, people have come into the cloud to cloud computing about background of IT. And then Theo mentioned that says that there's some people who don't even know how to type the keyboard. I would just say, why can't you don't use me as an example and just say, status here, let it be an example to motivate others. So just to say is that I also came here as a novice. We know nothing as far as computer is concerned. What is important is how determined you are. If you want to do something, if you have that skill, that spirit, it is possible. And I find out that WirfonCloud is actually possible because I came here with no knowledge of IT, with no background. But today I'm figuring myself that I think I can do something if I've given that chance to maybe just a test. If somebody just want to test me, can you do us something? So when a lot of people talk about looking for a job, yeah, the jobs are there. It's when you go to the job site, job market, and then you say, I want to look for a job. Actually, your CV or what the requirements they need for that job will actually determine if you are preparing for that job. It is only there that you will actually know that there are certain things that I need to put that effort. Yeah, because when you go there, they will say maybe they always talk about experience. I say, okay, if it comes to experience, then I think I can explain the experience maybe through my project, through what I'm doing with my community. What about if they ask you if you have some skill in Linux? Do you have some Kubernetes experience? All these things will help you now to try to know that you need some tools that you need to put together in order to reach a certain goal. In that way, it's going to give you that motivation to dig in, to research, to study more and more tools. It's all about knowing the tools, and in that way, you're able to stand a chance to work in the job market. I quite remember a year backward, a prof asked me, Titus, if they ask you at the scale of 10, what level do you think you can work? I said, this question Prof is asking to me, what could I say? I said, Prof, okay, let me give myself 5/10. Prof said, no, Titus, I see that you are 7/10. I was so happy. I said, okay, if Prof was actually my recruiter and then he give me this average, that means that I need to put more effort. So what I'm trying to say is that I heard all of us always begin from somewhere without knowing anything. Otherwise, we don't have to study. We go to primary school because we don't have a background maybe to read and write. That is why we go to primary school. We're being taught in A, B, C, and so on. It is the same thing moving from one profession to the other. You consider yourself there, starting from scratch. So when you put in the skills, the time and everything is going to flow, because I am as an example, and the level in which I am today, I want to encourage everyone that it is actually possible. especially have someone who can orientate you. The IT is a very broad, it's an ocean, but if somebody can orientate you from the foundation, this is how your steps have to move. And I just want to seize the opportunity to thank WirfonCloud for having made me possible to see that I can actually know what the computer is. I can type, I can do certain things. It's thanks to the WirfonCloud. So everyone who is just a novice knows that there were other people like me who just came in here without no knowledge. And I think, Prof, if there is a job, I think you can call me. I will do it. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. I know since you're inspiring others, you came with no knowledge of computers, IT, you have done Linux and you're now doing Docker and Kubernetes. What certifications do you have with that background and where you are? Do you want to share? I think if you share that, it's going to also give people like, okay, if you won't mind.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Thank you, Prof. Actually, I am 3 times satisfied with AWS. I have my practitioner, solution architect, and the SysOp associate exam. So those are my 3
Yeah.
certificates that I came in from zero. And in the space of years, I think WirfonCloud, I think June will be making me actually made me 2 years with WirfonCloud. And now we are preparing for the Kubernetes exam, which is also another certification I'm also diving into to work hard to achieve. So in this short period, I'm saying that I have 3, I'm satisfied, 3 times satisfied. It means it is possible with WirfonCloud because it is the right place to start your career, which I will encourage you.
Right. So yeah, it's possible, and Titus has also done the projects with us, so it's very possible, and we'll definitely support him as he goes on, especially when he finishes the course and is looking for other things to do. And talking again about background, I just want to say that you people should remember that even those who have an IT background, they have to learn the cloud as something new because the cloud is a whole complete different paradigm, right? I did IT. Maybe the only advantage is I had the fundamentals, which you people are being taught now, like the Linux and networking. But the cloud is completely something different. You even have to start thinking different. And there are people who are already in this enroll, some people who are retiring like in 10 years. Not everyone is always ready to learn, right? They don't see any reason to start learning something new, right? And they will just want to stay with the old IT and go on. And that's one of the challenges some companies have been having, trying to bring that culture that where everyone will be able to see the importance of cloud. So remember that even people in IT, they also get into cloud computing and they have to start seeing it. They have to actually, they say the thing that if you want to succeed in the world of today, you should be ready to unlearn and then learn, right? If you are always thinking, you have to unlearn what you already know. So you have to forget about how IT was done. And then you are coming now to the cloud, which is a complete different way of how things are done. And you have to be ready to learn and do things in this new way, right? So you are not only, no one is, you are not alone in this journey of diving. So from when I take from Tio, the question, the point was, don't bother about the fact that you don't have a background. All of us, many people are coming in without background. I was in a course where there was one lady who also was coming also from the police force, and she's actually training. It's after 2 years, she's training to be an AWS instructor. She has got to the cloud. She's in 2 years. So she has definitely set a goal. She's also coming also from the police force. And in 2 years, she's trying to train to be an instructor. So if she can do it, what more of any other person without a background in that? And there are many stories. You can, if there's one lady who also, there's a lot of trying to remember her name. She, of course, she now talks with most AWS seminars. I'll share her LinkedIn profile. She has a very nice following on LinkedIn, but she also she came from a complete different background, but she's now one of the most, in LinkedIn, she's recognized as one of the highest contributors in the area of the cloud, community development, building communities, and many things like that. So all of us can do it. That's one thing I always want to say. It's definitely not impossible, but at the same time, it's not a walk in the park. Don't try to be lazy and think that it will be possible. Yeah. So no, it's really been great hearing from everyone.
Let me chip
And
in.
yes, who is that, please? Come in.
Emmanuel.
Go ahead. Sure.
Yes, I know I've been missing for a while now. I happen to equally being one of the best
Emmanuel,
batch
go
of
ahead.
people. I remember in those early days when I was coming to class, with no IT background, and yeah, everything was just strange to me. But the good thing, what I did for myself was that I stayed the course. I didn't give up. I left, and then I came back. I left. Was it 2019 that we started? 2019 or 2020. I left, and then I came back. I stayed the course. I learned over those period, and during that time we had Aqua was always coming. There was Aqua, there was Banji, there was Shulika, there was some other guys, and Lady T, who was always there to teach us and motivate us. And I stayed the course. And over that time, I've learned a lot until at this where I am now. I've amassed a lot of certificates, and I've learned advanced concepts in IT, and even daring to do stuff in AI, and the process continues. So when you come to WirFon, the good thing about it is that you have people who are so dedicated in helping you out. And if you just follow, if you're doubting who to be your mentor, look at Banjika, look at the way he's studying. If you come, Banjika has done. We started even though Banjika was doing IT and I had no IT background, we started at the same time. But if you go to Banjika's portfolio and look at the amount of certificates that he has done over time, and what sets him apart is the consistency. That is one thing that sets him apart. So if you're struggling about how do I start, look at Banjika, how far he's gone, and say, oh no, I have to measure up with this guy. If he's going 50 kilometers per hour, I'm going to do 10 kilometers an hour. I'll take a long time, but I'm going to get there. And then you start at your own pace and one step at a time. The beauty about WirFon is that it's like a family. There are people that I met in WirFon that I met only WirFon that I call. I've never seen, even though I live in UK for a while, for a long time, I've never seen Akko, but I'm too WirFon. I know him. Any day I go back to London, I'm going to meet him and we've known each other for a long time. You see, Theo is there. He's always taking his time to come and teach us. And then just as I was talking about Banjika, waking up, I remember in those days, we used to wake up 4. There was a class that was, in my time, it used to be 4 a.m. Was it 4 a.m. in the UK that I used to wake up to attend those classes? And they would ask this guy, I really call Banji and ask him, but don't you have something that you are doing that you can every day you are staying true to this vision? Until a few years, I understood that for you to get somewhere, you need to put in a lot of effort to get wherever you want to be. And that requires consistency. And you don't have to run your own race. If I'm passing all my certificate, tomorrow you come, oh, I've done Kubernetes, oh, I've done AI this, I've done that. That's not your own race, but stay true to your own race and focus. And if you're new, one thing I will tell you, one error that I made in my learning was that I was doing a lot of theoretical knowledge. I was so good at knowing the things in my head. But if you follow that method, that would be the wrong way of learning cloud. Whatever you are doing in WirfonCloud, if you go to class and they say you are doing it's anything to do with an EC2 instance or building an EC2 instance, go home, build that EC2 instance yourself. Build it. Just look at that platform. What is there? What is this one doing? Just click it and see what it's doing. That is the best way you learn. Just clicking and looking at what they do. Don't just read it and understand the concept. Do it. When you do it, you have better understanding of the concept. And when you go for your exams, some of the things that you'll be asked in the exam will be things that you did while you're doing your practicals. So, and then when it comes to about learning IT, if you have ever gone out to buy IT courses, WirFon is the cheapest place where you can learn cloud. But it's almost like it's like a scholarship for everybody, because you are paying close to nothing. I paid $10,000 for my class. I'll pay $4,000. I've paid $3,000 learning. But in all those places that I spent all those money, to be honest with you, the value I got from those places can't measure to what I got from Wirfon. First of all, I have direct access to the people here. If I'm struggling with something in networking, I have a course number. I'll dial a call. I'll call him that or send him a message. He's going to reply me. If I'm struggling with something that I know that I need Banjika here or Tatiana or Tio, I'll get to them directly and they'll reply me. But some of those people in those places that you think that because you hear those big names, you think that you go and pay those big money, you're going to get knowledge. They are not even reachable. They are not reachable. So if you are in Wirfon, you do networking, you do Python, introduction of Python, you do Terraform, all those things. You know how much it costs you have to go and pay out there somewhere else? Here in Wirfon, it's almost like free. It's like a charity. It's like a charity. So if you are coming in, make the most out of it. This is really like a gift to you. It's almost like free. What you're learning there, if you go out of this space, you go and check how much you pay there. You fucking have 5K at least. I paid 10K one of my courses even to what did I learn there is when I look at what I paid that money for and what I learned and what I learned when I gained from Wirfon. There's no game. So if you are coming here in Wirfon, just follow the script. There are people here who are so experienced. Take it step by step. Do your Linux, do your networking, go learn your cloud, and then they've set it in such a way that there are different courses coming up with time. There's a lab session. I'm sure I was talking to you, was planning that there's going to be another set of project section. And when you get to that level where we've learned all those technologies from Terraform to Jenkins, Ansible, Kubernetes. So we are almost at the point where we can build infrastructures in the cloud, comfortable. So we'll gather all the skill sets. And I'm sure that when that part will start, the group that will be coming behind, they'll have a lot of material to learn how infrastructure are actually built in the cloud. Banjika is there. He has been building those things. Akko is there. They've got hands-on experience. Tio is there. They've got all the. So we have people who are actually doing those things that we can rely on them. And then they are very willing to give it back to us for almost close to not for free. So if you are finding yourself here in Wirfon, you just have to take it cold slowly, find your level, follow the lead of the people who are leading. When you start, you do your Linux. That is the core. You do your Linux, you do your networking, you jump into the cloud, and you start following the courses as they are coming, as you're being directed to follow, until you get to where you finish your Kubernetes. At that level, then the cloud world is in your hands. You can scale to the level that you want to go, depending on how hard you are willing to work. So, guys, if you're new, you are in the right place. Take it slowly, but stay consistent and don't give up. Don't give up. Every day, 1 hour a day is enough. It's enough. Just 1 hour a day. You can get your information or pass them all in your WhatsApp. When you're traveling, you can be reading, you look at this S3, what is there, and you just learn like that. When you come home, log on your laptop and try and build something. Just learn it and know the theory, build it. That's just my little contribution that I said, let me add. Yeah.
No, it's definitely a huge contribution, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for that. And I think one thing you have really put, which I repeat there, I want to repeat, you've heard so much about consistency. It's very important. Repeating consistency. Don't let 1-2 days go by, right? So it's a very strong point that Emmanuel has brought. He has shared his experience on how he has also built up, going away and coming back, and we were happy to have you back. And and we're happy how much you've been able to learn throughout now, and just definitely sure that I'm sure when you start looking, something would definitely come for you as well. So that is the beauty about WirfonCloud, making sure we don't make mistakes that others made, right? So in their journeys. And he has also pointed the fact that we are reachable. So most of the instructors here or those who are ahead are always willing to help, because our mission has always been to make this a very thriving community where even people, when there are people who were here, they are working, but they always come back to WirfonCloud in the consulting. We definitely do believe that we can build something bigger, which requires then that you have to ensure that everyone who is here enjoys being here, or there should be something that maybe it's not like WirfonCloud. So thanks for giving that. I think, Emmanuel, you have been ambassador of this of WirfonCloud because you have always sent people to come study. So thanks for that contribution as well. Yeah, really appreciate.
You go this one. Just to add again, I know that was it last year you fostered a relationship with entity data. How's that relationship developing? Any news? And
yes, entity data. Yeah, they still have entity data. For those who don't know, it's almost a multi-billion company. We did some work with them, and they were helping. That's where we got on how to do the CV and job interviews. They did train some people here to do it, but they originally did it with us. So if you for those looking for jobs, you can still apply on the entity data website. If you find a job, you inform us, we'll inform entity data. They will then prioritize your this thing. But they could not continue the same service every year because due to, I don't know, but they say that if we need them, they can come as volunteers, but they cannot come as the company. It has had to do with, I don't know, I think it's regulation and compliance from the entity data side, right? So that is the current state, Emmanuel. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's been a great Saturday. It was really nice having all of you. There's a recording for those who came late and they want to look at this. I'll upload that and share. I think a lot has been said about, I mean, we have had a recap on how to stay on this journey, what you should be doing. We have heard from different other people who have been here before, as well as instructors. I hope you find this useful. If you do, please recommend it to others by writing a message on the chat and referring them to watch it, because if not, they won't know. But thank you all for taking the time to be part of the WirfonCloud family this weekend, and we'll announce the next session in the days ahead. Have a great weekend and a great Saturday.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Have a good
Thank you
day.
all.
Have a good
So I'll
weekend.
call
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Bye.